So I think I am streaming on Twitch, which makes me officially a Twitcher, I suppose, which is kind of exciting. I've no idea how all this is going to go down, but we'll see. So the plan today is, and I've been wanting to do this for a while, the plan is to explore the features of recent WordPress block editor, otherwise known as Gutenberg releases. And so this is why in my last sort of not really streamed video, I created, can we see this? I created a install of WordPress, which I just called GB test. And so I have this running locally. It does run slowly because I'm streaming and recording and stuff at the same time. So it is a bit slow. The plan is, so in WordPress 5.4, the plan is to sort of go back to the last major version of WordPress, and which was version 5.4. And we'll look at which version of Gutenberg was included in WordPress 5.4, and then gradually, hopefully, depending on how long it takes, gradually go through the incremental versions of Gutenberg looking at the new features. So the first thing I have to do is I need to work out precisely which version of Gutenberg was included in WordPress 5.4. Now, normally I would say to go to makewordpress.org/core to do this. I'm just going to close another window in the hope that it might speed things up and save some bandwidth. So this is the core Make WordPress blog. This is a great place to hang out if you work with WordPress. Because this is where all the WordPress news comes, and I subscribe to email updates from this, and I delete a lot of them, but they're really good to get. And normally I would say go here, because here you will find dev chat summaries and you'll find what's new in Gutenberg, and this is kind of what I'm after. But actually probably what I want is not just this section in the general chat, but I want this what's new in Gutenberg post, which is further down through the Make WordPress core blog. And so this is all about Gutenberg version 8.4. And if I sort of went back, I could find the release post for WordPress 5.4. But actually, Justin Tadlock over on WordPress Tavern, he's doing a great job. So this is wptavern.com. And he's doing a great job of summing up progress through as Gutenberg progresses and gets included, or gets releases of the plugin, and the plugin releases get included in core. So this is Justin's release post for WordPress 5.4, and it's just a really good summary overview of things. And he says this release will include features from Gutenberg 6.6 through 7.5. So I have all the features from Gutenberg version 7.5 already in my block testing install of WordPress. So it might be worth just also then going, where were we? Gutenberg 7.5. So what was in Gutenberg 7.5? And we can search the tavern for this. Hang on, I'm just going to move this over here. That's it. Helpful. Cool. And so I can search for Gutenberg in WP Tavern. And you'll see Gutenberg 8.4, Gutenberg 8.3, Gutenberg 8.2, Gutenberg 8.1, and it's showing us all the changes. So I've got a fair bit to cover if I'm going to try and cover from, what did I say, 7.5? 7.8, 7.7 over here, 7.6 over here. He didn't actually cover 7.5. Oh yeah, he did. I scrolled too far. So he didn't do 7.5 because presumably that was just included in stuff. But I've got, so 7.4 had new color controls, link UI, and block scaffolding for developers. So that would have been in here. So I'm just going to go to my WordPress and I'm going to go add new. I told you it was slow. What I should do is I should put a little test WordPress site up on remote hosting somewhere so the speed isn't impacted by my streaming. And I get, oh, this is kind of new. So honestly, let me take a step back, because I think Gutenberg is great for WordPress as a content management system. I personally have had some issues with Gutenberg and how it's all been done and rolled out in particular. And I think the direction of WordPress as a whole with Gutenberg in it now is that WordPress is turning into a publishing tool for publishing sort of online news and stuff like that. And it's stepping away from being a multi or general purpose content management system that can manage all different kinds of content. A tool like Statamic or Craft or October CMS, if you're in the PHP world, is going to be better for general purpose content management because they much more easily let you express relationships between objects and things like that and create your own sort of types of content. And I think blocks are great, but they're great for laying out content on a page, but they're not great for specifying information about pieces of content. That's my opinion. You might have a different opinion. I feel like if I'm building a web application these days, I'm not going to do it in WordPress because that's not the direction WordPress is going in. If I'm building a publishing system for someone, then WordPress is a really great open source tool for doing that. And so I've not been staying on top of the progress in the Gutenberg editor and the new features and stuff. So I'm a bit behind, and the whole purpose of this is that I can actually step through some of this stuff and see what has changed in Gutenberg. And so here we are. Welcome to the block editor. Make each block your own. Yeah, okay. Get to know the block library. Great. Learn how to use the block editor. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if that's actually any good. I wonder if it's up to date. It looks quite up to date with the release of 5.4. So we get full screen mode by default. That's kind of interesting. There's the admin menu on the WordPress logo, which will leave the postal page. Full screen mode we can toggle along with other modes. We kind of know the basics of how the block editor works. Yeah, okay. So that is a pretty good little overview. Let's get started. Cool. So what do we say was in here? No, in here. So prior to 7.5, we had color controls, a link UI, and block scaffolding for developers. So let's see if we can do something with some color. I'd love to have some like genuine. This is a test pissed. Ah, these things happen. Oh, let's get myself a bit more comfy. I don't think you can. Oh, that's just a title, so that's not a block. I wish I had some like real sample content. This is a test piece. It's a paragraph. I had an odd feeling that they'd introduced like you could actually color text color. So here's the new color controls. I think you can set these in your theme if you want to, which is why they are red and cream and grey. Or I can choose my own color. That's interesting. So I made that blue. That's terrible. Like giving people this level of control. I like this. I don't like this. Like your theme can set these colors. That's a great idea. The tool can let anybody choose any color they want. Oh, it's got HSL, and what this blue down the side is. That's quite strange, and it doesn't have a color picker or anything. But that's good that you can do RGB and HSL as well as hex values. I'm not saying transparency control, so that's interesting. Okay, let's clear color off of that. So we've got color control, that's kind of cute. and link UI. So what's new there? I use links all the time. Is that the link UI? Can I link to the, should be a sample page. It's interesting that it's got open in new tab toggle. I think that's new. I'm really going to have to put this online somewhere to make it quicker. Talk amongst yourselves. Wowza. Oh, cool. So it's got sample page and I've no idea. Oh, right. That's trying to create a URL. That's trying to make this a URL. So I could put like /sample. But what I want is a sample page. It's identified that as a page and it's showing me the URL of it, which is kind of cool. Interesting. I haven't set permalinks yet, so it's still using URL parameters. Okay, that's kind of cool. So what I want to do, I blocked scaffolding for developers. I'm not going to dive into. I'm exploring the UI. So they skipped 7.5. Who knows what was in that? I wonder if we can visit the Gutenberg plugin on the repository and see if there's a decent change log. How are we doing for time? 12 minutes, 16% skipped frames. Oh, that's not great. So you're finding my stream quite laggy if you're watching it. Which one person is? I wonder who that is. Maybe it's just me. Well, if there is someone other than me watching, hello. I haven't publicized this. So, yeah. I'd be surprised if that was someone other than me. So, can we see... Oh, I need to get to releases page. That's going to be on GitHub, isn't it? Will the page for... Oops. Let's put this to 7.5.0. See if we can manipulate the URL in GitHub to get the release notes for what we want. So what happened? They marked social links block as stable. They supported adding, slight typo. Everyone makes typos, it's cool. Adding featured images to the latest posts block. That's interesting. So this is something that I've kind of always wanted in WordPress, is easy ability. Well, actually, when WordPress had widgets that you would put in sidebars and stuff, you could oh, this is interesting. I want to add a new block. Where's this is going to happen a lot. So my question is, where's the new block button gone? It's up here, but I thought you had like a little plus. That's interesting. Oh, hello. Oh, that's all new. So, oh, that's got little previews of what your block looks like. That is also something I've not seen before. Oh, I'm down a rabbit hole. What was I talking about? Let's just add another paragraph. That's in common blocks. What was I looking at then, if not common blocks? Ah, who knows? Right, paragraph. See, now I've got the plus. If I've only got one, and that's what I was looking for. If I've only got one paragraph, I don't have that. Isn't that weird? So if I delete that, so if I've only got one paragraph, I don't have any of the add controls. Isn't that strange? I've got to go up there to make a new block. Bug for the Gutenberg team, paging the Gutenberg team. Right, what was I doing? There was a new latest posts thing, wasn't there? So when WordPress had widgets that you could put in sidebars, the latest post widget was always just really inflexible. So this is nice. We've got some options here for, we can show post content, we can show the date if we want to or not. we can show the featured image if we want to or not. So that was the new feature being referred to in the change log. We can choose the order and the category. See, annoyingly, like, why it'd be nice if you could choose a post type, I suppose. Don't know. And what's the formatting? There isn't really any. Got advanced. You can add some CSS classes. So you'd then have to style this if you wanted to. I guess what you would ideally do is you would put a heading in. So interesting. Unlike the widget, the latest post block doesn't have a title, so you have to add your own title. Yeah, that's reasonable. I'm okay with that. That's cool. All my links are blue. That's okay too. Okay, so that was good. So where are we? We're 7.5. Add support for TikTok video embeds. I'll trust that that works because I'm really not very interested in that. Add inline text color support. Oh, we saw that. I played with that already. So that was in 7.5 and that made its way into WordPress 5.4. And add text color support to the columns block. Now, I have not played with the columns block. So what does that do? So let's say I want 2 lots of latest posts, for example. So I can add columns. We can choose a variation to start with. I just want 2 equal columns. Now what I'd really like to do is, can I drag that into there? I can. It's very exciting. I'm pretty sure, because I did once play with columns. Oh, that was weird. Didn't want that to happen. Nice little animation when you move that up. So I did try playing with columns a long time ago and it was really not great. Ideally what I'd like to do now is duplicate this and stick the duplicate in this column. And then what? Oh gosh, my computer's really giving up now. So maybe these columns work quite well these days. Come on, old little laptop. There we go, it's caught up. So let's call this oldest posts and then let's duplicate this one. Drag it over to there. Ah, it puts it in the wrong place. It's not such a huge issue. Is that me? That should be... It won't let me put it at the bottom of the column. That's kind of annoying. Hey ho. This isn't going to change anything because I've only got 1 post. But I'm going to do this oldest to newest. So that's kind of sweet. Let that have a think. I'm curious about this viewer. Tell me who it is. I'm not using the Twitch chat. I'm in Streamlabs and it's not showing me anything in Streamlabs chat. But I don't know if that's because the Streamlabs chat isn't actually the Twitch chat. It's got to be me. Okay. Nice. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to preview this. I'm undecided about this animation. I don't really like that. Like if I'm a developer who works for clients, building sites for other people, and I don't really want a massive whizzy WordPress icon whizzing around. It's pretty, it's really nicely done. But I kind of want to white label WordPress sometimes. Next time I will move this site online somewhere so I'm not slowed down by my local web server, also trying to live stream and record video at the same time. It's really slow and boring for you and not helpful for me. Okay, so where's these columns? Oh, that's weird. Put. What's that? Don't know what this is. That must just be something in the theme. So there's my two columns. That's okay. Let's want to see what that looks like in a mobile display. Just resize everything in my browser. Yeah, it collapses nicely, shrinks the titles. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Nice work on columns. Add text color support to columns block. Text color support to the columns block. What does that mean? Does that mean everything in my column can be the same color? How do I get the controls for the column? Oh, I've just got pluses everywhere now. What? That must be a plus to add a block to that column. That must be a plus to add a block to that column. That must be a plus to add. No, that added to the column. That added to the column. But that one, so that's outside the column. This is not in a column. How do I get column controls up then? Oh, you have to just like accidentally click in exactly the right place. So I can change my, ooh, what? Why does that button turn to that weird thing? Change block type or style. No. This is the thing with Gutenberg. The UI was just always kind of inconsistent. That's nice that you can make that like completely full width or wide or normal. Oh, right, okay, so it's I can't change the number of columns. Oh, that's over here. I was sure that when I made a columns block, again, there isn't a plus underneath this last column, is there? That's really annoying. Last block. So when I added these columns, I had some interesting variations of like 2/3, 1/3 split. Can I change this? Advanced. So that's my new color settings. So that's what's in 7.5, but I'm exploring stuff pre 7.5 as I go as well. So I can increase or decrease the number of columns, but it doesn't look like I can change the layout. Maybe that'll come in a later version. Oh, nice. I can vertically align middle the blocks, which is quite cool. So if I add more stuff in here, presumably, let's add a paragraph. More stuff in column 2 and more stuff. So presumably then if I manage to access column settings and I vertically align middle, yeah, that's nice. Okay, good job. Not convinced that is vertically aligned bottom. But I won't do the preview because it'll take 15 minutes to generate it. Maybe it won't. Okay, so we got to 7.5 in this stream, which has been 25 minutes. Oh, let's just check this text color support. So once I can get to the column, what's that? Ooh, hang on. Oh, right, so I can change the percentage width. So that's how you make your 2/3, 1/3. I have no idea how I managed to select. So I was only able to do that because I'm now centering this against this one. Can I access the column? settings for this column. No. There was a thing, wasn't there? There's this thing up here, block navigation. So if you had a long document, this would be just horrendous. But I can presumably go columns, select this column. Right, now I can get to the settings for this specific column. Yeah. So I can change the percentage width. So this is a single column. That's a single column. But to get to that is a bit of a nightmare. So to get to the, I can get to the, no, I can't. I have to click in exactly the right place. Or use this browser. Maybe a later version of Gutenberg has fixed this and makes it easier to do. So generally, like, I'm quite impressed with columns. They've come a long way since I last used them a long time ago. Let's just do color settings for the column. This might be nice. Was it inside column? To columns block. So I want to select not the column, but the columns. And I can change the color on this to red. So that's a text color and background color. Yeah, okay. That kind of makes sense. And presumably that's really nice if I then make it full width. So I can start to see how you could build some cool stuff. Like link colors then aren't getting updated. Maybe that's something the theme could do. I don't know. But yeah, okay, that's cool. I'm going to give some kudos to Gutenberg here. Some of this is cool and heading in very much the right direction. I don't like this. I can select wide and full, but I have to unselect full in order to get it back to normal. Yeah, I can start to see how you could like start to build simple sites with this. So that's cool. I'm going to stop there. We've worked through 7.5. Another time, it might be tomorrow, it might not be. We'll go for Gutenberg 7.6 with rotating tips list. I guess that's this little thing here, and new full site editing blocks. So we'll have a look through this post. We'll play. We'll install the plugin just before we go today. No, I'll do it at the start of the next one because it's going to take forever for me to install a plugin, unless I put this site online somewhere, which I will do. Great. Hopefully it was useful to look through some of this stuff. It was useful for me to test streaming to Twitch. Hopefully I have a recording for this that I can put on YouTube too. Whether or not anyone watches, I don't know, and I don't really care. It was good for me to have an excuse to go and test these Gutenberg features and get to grips with the new stuff that's in Gutenberg. We're going to get a whole new refreshed UI at some point. That's going to be fun. Yeah, so if you do watch, thanks for coming along on the journey. I'll try and do some more. What day is it today? It's Thursday today. So might get some stuff done Friday. We'll see. This is ending soon. I'm going to go quiet just to let it and the stream catch up and upload anything. 'Cause I cut off, like the recording was cut off at the end of the last one that I did. So this is ending soon. Nice. Enjoy your